Today we're gonna show your first original creation. It wasn't easy to come with idea of what to create. The easier one that comes to my mind are wizards. So I try to go through that way.
I remember you were asking me like, oh, but how do I do like, what should I check for? And I'm like, oh, you can check the classes, the most common ones.
You didn't help that much.
I told you, check, and then yeah, really, wizards is one of the first things that comes to mind, right? They are more unique. They have their hats.
And as you can see on Blender, I made a lot of texture. I made a lot of details, but when it comes to printing, you barely see if you don't see anything at all. In Blender you can zoom in and see everything in so much detail, and I like to make things that are very small and tiny, small details, but I just noticed or realized that
when we print it small, it loses a lot of detail.
It loses a lot of details and it's not worth it to make it that small. So next time I also want to make it bigger. What I noticed is, at least the miniatures that we have right now and that we have printed, the majority of them, they don't have that much detail in the cloth, but they have a lot of folds, and I want to practice that.
And we can add a little texture with the way that we paint, or if we dry brush, we can give a little texture after.
I think folds are important.
But folds help give a lot of movement, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you have everything straight, it's like your character is not moving, it's just stopped in a position. But if you have like the cloth moving in a certain way, it helps give the sensation of movement. Oh, I think the final result is very nice. We had some troubles.
I forgot about the painting part. So I really like to paint everything, to try to paint as much as possible in details. I don't like just to make something quick or use a big brush, right? Most of the time I use the small brush, and
even when you could use a little bigger, she uses the like the smallest possible. She's there
because I don't like to mess around with other areas of the,
but that is really character. A good point in your brushing that I see is that, like, okay, there's learning, of course. For me there's a lot of learning still, but you're very precise in the points that you paint. So even though of course we can learn more technique and we can learn ways that the paint is gonna work there, because each paint is like a little different, but overall when you paint a color in a place, you're really able to stay in the place. Like you did the eyes like perfectly, you did the crystal and the staff super nice. You even made the mouth super nice.
Yeah.
So that's great.
I'm even telling Peter that we need a smaller brush.
I don't even know if there is. We can check.
I'm pretty sure there is.
It's gonna be one thing.
We can always go smaller.
And yeah, we decided to leave the painting in like a more simple. It looks very classical. It looks like very D&D 80s, 90s. Even the color palette, it looks like very vivid. We know it's still like this is way more simple to make than these people that do the details and the highlights and make super real. But we can also, at least my plan is to try to keep evolving this technique of like keeping the colors vivid and like contrast very vivid, and make the paint more complex as well. So adding the level of complexity, but keeping the bright color there. And this is the dragon that Noe painted. That also follows this. It's like a lot of vivid color. Well, that was our first original model, and we're very happy with the results. Like, it looks super nice. We know it's not something like crazy complex and super hard to do, but I think we achieved our goal here. Right?
We want to celebrate our small achievements.
Yes. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.